Okay,
Dex
Okay.
got
saves
something.
do.
Quick question, how
Okay.
far are we falling down exactly?
You guys don't know. It's a black. You guys perceive that as a black void.
Everyone, every small person get on the big person. I have a spell that can save us.
I'm already clinging on the Proto.
Oh, jeez, are we doing
Okay.
it
grab
now?
Newbie.
I grabbed Miss Paula
Okay,
and
so,
grabbed Rook.
Scar-
Hug the kobold.
Okay, Scaro, roll Arcana.
Do
Or
I have to
what-
roll Arcana for the mountain magic spell?
Actually, never mind. Excuse the DM.
All right.
Roll your spell. Roll your spell.
Do I have to roll for the smell?
The smell?
Is it
Roll
for
the
Paula?
spell.
The spell.
You just roll the spell.
Oh, I don't know.
Just roll the spell. Don't roll Arcana with it.
We'll cast the spell.
I can
whatever.
actually just cast a spell without rolling a dice at all.
Yeah, if
Oh,
it's
okay.
not like an
I think that
attack.
was he's talking
Okay.
about.
It's not an attack, it's actually a helpful spell. So, as a reaction, as everyone is, like, clinging on to each other, Scar is going to basically open up his hands, and you see him, like, channeling this green energy between himself. And then he's going to basically cast, very softly, Featherfall. And suddenly a burst of feathers basically spread around everyone. And up to 5 creatures, who I'm going to target all the big people who are carrying the small people, including Scar himself, is going to basically be... a giant feather is going to basically appear beneath them, and every falling creature descends slow to 60 feet per round, and if they land, they take no falling damage at all.
Awesome.
Nice.
Helpful. Thank you.
I'm like
So
pulling
on
onto
your-
Agata's tail.
So on your gradual fall down, you guys see what looks to be a pool of water. So, also
Don't mind.
a bit of a little island of sorts, in the center of that pool.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So, if Scaro didn't cast Feather Falling, I would have had to roll. I would have
Dex
had to
save?
ask you guys to roll dex saves. So
Woohoo! The verdict is
Thank
Even
out.
with-
Thank
You don't
God.
have to.
even with the water, that might not have been good. So
So it was shallow water.
and now that we're out of the that scene,
Well, that was
let
close.
me just.
Good thinking.
Thank you. Is everyone... Oh, y'all...
Above the end is that Protus is holding Miss Paula like a princess, and while Aelin is just holding on to Protus's back.
Y'all okay? Y'all okay?
He just
Yep.
falls
Good
off,
here.
he just falls
Okay.
off on Prodos's back.
I am okay.
Blast.
You good,
I'm
newbie?
Look
Miss
at his-
Paula, you're right.
I'm just like clinging on to
I think I'll
Agata's leg. It's like, just should we? What was that?
Well, there's no...
Whatever it was
Well-
cheating.
Well, I have 2 theories. Either that was a ghost, or some very powerful wizard who knows what trick or two about illusionary spells.
Mm.
What's a ghost?
A ghost is
Okay.
basically a being after death.
Basically,
Those
we
aren't even
have-
real.
They basically have vengeance ghosts or normal ghosts, but mostly vengeance.
Protos, don't listen to them. Ghosts aren't real.
Can
Those
we,
are definitely real.
Right
Ask
there.
Ask though
Can
any
we
evidence
please-
No way that was
such
a
an
ghost.
effect to Miss
Quick
Paula.
question, DM.
Can we please
Does
find
water
a way
look
out of here?
normal?
Yeah, it's just normal water.
Okay, Protus lets Miss Paula down on her feet.
Ugh.
I suggest
You're
y'all
right,
don't...
ma'am.
I suggest y'all don't drink that.
Agreed. It hasn't been boiled. It has-
How deep is the water?
Protus starts sniffing around, like,
It's about 10 feet deep. So y'all would have been
So
okay.
we're swimming.
Y'all would have been okay if you fell in.
Protus is about 8 feet tall, so that's...
Yeah.
we,
Yeah,
we should
probably
Olin,
should
be,
hurt
Olin
the full-
we should all be
Yeah.
Olin is 6.1 feet tall.
we should all be swimming if we're in the water.
If it's about 10 feet deep, so, yeah.
Are we on a little island?
Yeah, you're on the island.
Alright,
Okay.
Okay.
Is there like any exit besides the one over our head?
The one over your head has since closed.
Well,
Is there? Do we have light in here?
Yeah,
I
fortunately there are some torch lights that are just scattered here and there.
Hmm.
And the strange thing is, they seem fresh.
well, that.
I don't like this.
I don't.
Prolus picks Miss Paul back up and put her on his shoulders.
Thank God.
Which
Well,
one?
I did need a bath.
Rothman, Olin
Prolus
looks at
starts swimming
Rothman.
towards the torchlights.
Olin looks at Rothman. This doesn't seem stable.
No, it doth not.
Miss Agata,
No, it doth not.
do you know exactly where we are? Like, is there some sort of sewer system behind the castle?
Should I roll a history for that?
Yeah, roll hit. Actually, no, you've never seen anything like this before.
Okay. I have no idea.
Well, I guess we have to find some way out.
Fortunately, even with the torchlight that again gives some off vibes, it seemingly doesn't matter because it seems to be fully lit anyway by the light of the moon.
Oh, they're magical torches.
How is the moon shining? How is the moon shining down here?
Can I make an
So,
arcana
are
check?
This place is freaking me out.
We should be on the ground, shouldn't we?
Should be underground.
ADM, should I roll an arcana check for this sort of phenomenon?
Yes.
So,
Alright.
are the torches glowing with a different color, or is it just it's still the traditional
5.
fire colors?
It's just traditional fire colors.
Alright. +5.
Probably just looks at everyone else like, you're all acting like you've never seen fire before.
Okay, Scaro, you noted upon closer inspection. Thankfully, these aren't normal torches. They look to have a specific type of stone that allows fire to be on it for basically an indefinite amount of time.
I relay this information back to the group.
Ooh. So it's unlimited light. Protus grabs the torch.
As for the gaping hole that seems to be leaking in moonlight, thankfully you do not need a perception check at all for this one.
Okay, good.
You guys see, like, you guys can easily see, like, a hole in the cave that looks like it's pointing up at the moon.
Maybe we can get out that way.
No, you can't. The bridge, the walkways don't go that far.
Be
And
high up in there.
Well,
That's the
great.
climb.
And besides, something about it looks kind of off. Almost like you're inside the belly, or at least the mouth, of a huge beast.
Oh, did we get swallowed?
Thankfully, no, you're in solid caves.
I'm just gonna laugh out loud if this whole castle is just a giant mimic in disguise.
Don't give them ideas.
So,
That'd be an interesting homebrew.
so, where do you guys go from here?
Where can
Well,
we go?
well, probably where the torches is. Protus did took one of the magical torches. Trying to add it to my inventory.
So, there are 3 paths, one of which that delves further into the darkness. If there's stairs going downward, you can easily assume that this is a very large cave. and then another that just goes onward, like into like a corridor, a very dark corridor, in fact, and another which leads upward.
Why do I
Upward
have a
seems
feeling
like
that why do I have a feeling that going upwards just sounds like a trap?
Yeah.
Do we split up, gang?
All feels so...
No.
Don't split the party.
Like, Scar just basically, like, looks down at Newbie and just points a very dissuading finger at it, like, no. Splitting up is the first way to die a very quick and brutal death.
I agree there.
Got a point.
Yeah.
Just seems
Yeah.
easy
I
to go
must
up.
concur
Okay,
with
You know,
So,
after
is
being
there
in this
a
cave,
door?
death doesn't sound too
Is there
bad.
like a door nearby?
A what?
A door, like a pathway or anything near the torches? Like,
Actually, right next to you, you can see like a mini jail cell of sorts.
Pearl just looks over. Oh, bedrooms! He starts walking down to the jail cells.
Oh, God. Well, I guess we'll have to follow
And
him.
These
it's
are bedrooms.
Yes, I did.
and unfortunately for you, more skeletons. This time, no gold.
Pearl just looks around and, not as nice as my bedrooms back at home.
Wait, you live in a prison cell?
No. They're just called them fancy tavern rooms.
Oh, that's very convenient. We used to live in the prison cell. Ain't that right, Rorfin?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Paula,
Yes.
roll investigation
Yay.
for me, would you?
I can do that.
In that case, Protos lets her down since we're out of the water.
Thank you.
Also,
You said investigation, right?
Yeah, investigation.
also, can newbie be
great.
keeping watch down around the corridors of the halls, just like making sure there's nothing in the darkness that would
Okay.
creep up on us.
Okay,
Yeah.
so newbie, roll perception.
All right.
As for you, Paula, you're frantically looking for something. However, you, going off of info you previously were told, you find nothing. You just find bones, the odd leather book, and rotten food.
Ugh.
Leather book, you say?
I don't find anything. Where is it? It has to be in here. Come on.
Miss Paul, you're right. You looking for
Yes,
something?
I'm fine. Just leave me alone. Come
Agata's
on.
gonna
Put
kind
down.
of snoop on her a little bit.
Okay,
Back
Paula.
off.
You know, it never
Paula.
hurts to try to
Whoa.
get some assistance.
Okay, Paula, roll one more investigation check for me. Also, newbie, you see absolutely nothing that would harm you yet. You're good.
Okay.
You just only see a dead skeleton.
Yet.
So they are 3 paths, right?
Yes, 3 paths. Plus the extra prison cells that y'all have also found.
Oh, great.
Okay,
Because Olin's focusing on the first path that
okay.
contains the
So,
darkness.
so Paula, you think you see what looks to be a yellow gleam.
Ooh.
You rush towards it, try and dig it out of what looks to be like a pile of like random junk, but it's just a big old plate, a big old metal plate.
What? No, this isn't. She throws it away from her.
Protos
It must
says
be
moves
somewhere
aside.
else.
It just goes clang on the metal bars.
So what are you
This
This
looking
must
for?
be somewhere else. It's none of your business.
quick question, Steve.
Hmm?
Do I know this
Yeah.
level book that's been in
might.
the jail cell?
Yes, you do. Thankfully, you don't need a perception check for it.
Can I try to give a quick look at it?
Absolutely.
I opened the pages and read over to see what's inside.
It looks to be like a log of prisoners that have been here for the past few years. However, it stops around 15 years ago.
Huh. That's kind of fascinating. Does it tell us any names as well as the races they are?
Unfortunately, given the age that they've been down here, the words have kind of been smudged out.
Damn.
However, there is one name that looks very, very, very important, as their name is just they seem to be emblazoned in red for this kind of castle. It definitely looks like something that you would say put them in solitary confinement.
What's the name of this?
You don't get much other than one other name. Well, one other or two letters. R.
R?
R?
Huh. I don't know, this book has been faded for quite a long time, but it appears to be some sort of prison records, and this certain name is almost blotched out, but it's sort of readable as well. It's named R. Does any of y'all know an R here?
R.
Now you sound like a pirate.
Would Agata
I'm
know
not paying attention.
anything about it?
What? What's a pirate?
Pretty vague, but. Arr.
Arr,
Yeah.
my hearty.
Should I roll
doesn't
history
matter.
or?
Yeah, roll history. Yeah, everyone roll history.
Alright.
Oh, everyone?
Yep, everyone.
We're going
Roll a
back
history.
to history.
And this is going down in history.
Ooh, I'm proficient in
Protos,
history.
Yeah, Protos, you basically remember nothing.
Low computer.
You just remember that this is the first time you've been down here. That's really about it.
Well, been down
2020.
here in this castle's prison cell, but he does recognize something similar to Hope.
Yeah.
Ooh, and then Noob goes, oh, I know someone with R, and I just pointed both Robin and Rorik.
Oh,
Also-
their names just started with R's.
Oh yeah. One
Were these your bedrooms?
One other thing that you also see, Scarro. You can faintly make it out now that you recognize it, but it looks to be an O. But the other letter begins to look like what looks to be an M, but you kinda can't you can't really make anything else out.
So R
You think-
O M?
Yeah.
Does anyone
Yeah.
recognize a name that starts with R O and then M?
R-O-R.
I fear I do not.
No. Don't recognize the name.
Do I get anything for a? I think I rolled a 17 on my history check.
17. 17. You only know at the top of your head like about 10 names that maybe sound similar, but they do not feel like any people that, at least by your standards, you don't know any of them that would be a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, they were usually like young or basically like very old.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we'll put off this mystery for another time. Right now, we need to
But
get out of
Rorik,
this.
you get a faint idea as to who you might know, starting with an R, O, and an M.
I'm not sure how I know this, but given that I'm not sure I've been here before, but okay.
You recognize that there. You recognize the name, the beginning of the name, but aside from that, there's so many people that you've dealt with as being like a blacksmith that you kind of just don't really blend the faces to the names.
Quick recap. What was the letters let off? Like R O N.
They're all written in
R-O-N.
red. They're all written in red, which means that whoever was been here must have sent to solitary confinement.
Okay. So what were the letters again? That was I asking for. R O M.
Name. But you think we can find where they were imprisoned?
I suppose so, but let's just put this mystery off for another time. Right now, we have to focus on getting out of here.
Bro, this looks around.
I thought we go up.
There should be a way up.
Might as well try.
Right, I'll follow you.
Back at home, I usually come down here.
But don't you think that'll be a trap? It looks way too easy to go up.
I heard dice rolling.
No, sorry, I accidentally hit my desk.
Not with your knee.
The curse.
Actually, with my knee.
The curse spreads. Suck it.
Hey, DM, is there
Yes.
happen to be any big metal doors? Like something that Protoss would recognize?
Probably not.
Okay. So, Protoss is going to walk over to Miss Pauling. Miss Pauling? Are you right?
Yes, I'm fine. What do you want?
I think we're moving.
Okay.
Are you right? You keep talking about this
Yes,
thing.
I'm fine. I told you that.
Protoss just kind of flinches a little bit with his ears perked down. Okay.
What are you looking for?
That's none of your business.
Well, you're here now, so it is our business. What are you looking for, madam?
It was just part of my job that I was sent here for. So that's all you need to know.
Is it
If
though?
it was something you're looking for, something tells me it would not be in this bedrooms. Process rubs his temple.
You'll have a better chance of finding it if you're open with us.
I must concur with the Dragonborn.
Teamwork is
She just
magic.
ignores them. She doesn't respond.
Well, if we're not going to
Protoss just shrugs and...
Well, if you're not
good
saying
luck with that then.
Well, if you're not saying anything, I guess we'll just move forward then.
Yes.
Miss Paul, do you want me to carry you again, or you're alright?
I'm alright.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, up the stairs we go then.
If we can find
As you
them.
walk, as you head up the stairs, you guys feel like you guys. Oh,
Yeah.
you guys. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
It's on the back of the neck.
It begins to get a little wobbly.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
What's
Then again, these are some very old stairs. So
like wooden
it's only
stairs?
natural.
Steady as she goes.
Like, are they made of wooden stairs or stone stairs?
They're stone.
Okay, that's
They're
more
crumbly.
alarming.
Oh.
Are these
Why
stone
are
stairs
stone
alright?
stairs so wobbly?
Coming loose?
Oh,
And right under Paula, no, not Paula. Paula just steps on it just dips a little bit. It startles her.
you alright?
You're alright, Miss Paula?
Yes, I'm fine. Startled me a little bit.
Alright. I suggest everyone holds on to somebody. It'd probably be less risky to basically fall over. That way we have somebody to catch us while we're falling down.
Good thinking.
Okay.
Something tells me I should be in the back. If I fall in front of you all, I think it would be kind of bad.
But if you fall on us,
good idea.
That's also bad.
If thou wishest not to drag us to the depths, Mr. Protos, methinks
Those
thy best place
Protos.
would be in the middle.
Oh, since Noobie's the lightest, they can go first.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also he's also the one with the shield,
They
so
can also
makes sense.
They can also see in the dark.
Hey, me too.
I can't. But you think I got that magical torch?
Yeah, it's a good thing you have the magical torch. Otherwise, I'll be blind.
Well, actually, in that vision is more of see another thing in different colors. We don't actually see, dark creatures moving around in the darkness.
Minotaurs don't have dark vision, believe it or not.
Yeah, I don't think Dragonborn do they? I'm not seeing it.
Let me check. It depends on which type of
dwarves
Dragonborn
do.
you are.
It's not like
it depends.
It's not like night vision goggles. It's basically like you can see a bit better, but not that well.
Yeah, you can see up to 60
like black
feet,
and
but
white.
Yeah. But maybe what kind of Dragonborn you see again? Like I know
Copper.
Copper, but which variant of copper? Like standard Dragonborn?
Just standard copper.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so thankfully with your strategy, you get up no problem.
Phew.
Didn't even have it to roll.
Nice job, Mr. Newbie.
Thank you.
Alright, where are we now?
Now you're up on what looks to be like a bit of a loft. It doesn't necessarily look like anything that would come crashing down any second, thankfully. But it still looks uneasy for some reason, given the fact that it's, well, in a ruined bit of catacombs.
Oh, so we're not out of the underground part. Jeez, how long have we been falling?
From my calculations, I suggest a lot.
That was out of character, but...
Oh, sorry.
Paulus has looks around like... So, we're pretty much in the catacombs. Of the castle?
Yep.
Well, if we see dead
That
people, that's
is
Looks
very...
like it.
That's really strange. Catacombs that leads to prison cells.
This is one weird building structure.
Well,
Paulus looks over to Agata.
Actually, Scaro. Could you roll history, please?
Alright, I'm going to do myself a little history flashback. That would be a 4.
Okay. Okay.
It wasn't a very good flashback.
You draw into your vast knowledge of catacombs, and what was that again?
4.
No,
with a nat one.
no, that's actually what you think. You draw like into your vast knowledge of kind of like the occult, and you just pause for a minute, like, what do catacombs do again?
Can somebody remind me what catacombs do again?
Bury your dead in them.
Yeah, it's where they put dead royals in. Probably I have been to some back at home.
Afraid I didn't learn that part of the lesson.
Seems strange to keep their prisoners by their honored dead.
Maybe the dead aren't honored down here.
Doesn't it also feel strange that the prison cells are like underneath this catacomb place?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I guess that's what the stairs are for.
Since you made that connection, yes?
Yes, does this place look like it's just been recently dug out?
No, it looks like it's been here for a while.
So, natural, so it's like stone carved.
But there's a but to this. Somehow, it's not part of the recent, it's not part of the ruins. This is very recent.
I was asking about that.
Oh.
So
but
this
not
was...
recent, but it's not like recent enough.
Well,
if you get me.
Well, this just gives
I
even
get
more
you.
questions.
No, I think I get what he means. He means like long time ago, somebody did dug this out a long time ago.
15 years recent?
You would say that's like this came out. This whole thing was put together about like before the fall, but somehow someone's keeping it pristine.
Oh, I don't like this at one bit. But probably says going to look around and see if there's like another exit.
All right, roll investigation. In fact,
right.
everyone roll investigation.
Yeah, I was about to say, Olin wants to investigate this place for a little bit before they get out of here.
And that is in...
Oh, computer, work with me here.
Agata, grow high.
A very nice number.
Alright.
A natural 1 plus a 5.
Oof.
My rolls have been so great lately.
Okay, so
not the worst time.
Okay, so Newbie, Paula, and Rorik, you guys are following Protos to see if you can find an exit. Pretty much, you see nothing right away. Y'all see nothing as of yet.
You're just being obscured by his massive, glorious pecs.
However,
No, I think...
However, for the rest of you,
No, I think we're all looking at his ass.
However, Olin, Agata, Skaro, and Rothan, you guys notice little marks and a circle that goes around the entire platform. You also get a hint of blood in your scent. Suddenly,
it's not good.
It clicks.
Sacrificial altar.
This is a ritual setting.
Yeah.
Rothan, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
And I do wish I was not.
Oh, what's going on?
And Skaro and Agata.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, you guys take note of a particular symbol, specifically in the center. And Skaro, is there like a just to make sure? Is there like a actually no. Agata and Skaro roll religion.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, roll for a Christ check.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I'm a cleric and I don't know.
Oh my god.
Turns out you were actually an atheist.
If it's not about oranges, I don't care.
Agata, you basically know nothing. Your whole expertise is just that tied to your deity. So you basically know nothing.
All out the window.
But yeah. Thankfully, Scaro, you actually get a little bit of a better glimpse, despite not knowing exactly. You recognize that this is a very important symbol in the occult. You just don't remember exactly what.
Well, whatever they were doing down here has to be pretty important. Specifically about that symbol in the middle.
Well, judging from the circle and the notices of blood, I think we stumbled in some kind of ritual.
Is the blood fresh?
Let me check.
Some of it.
Oh, sorry, I'm using
some
my,
of it is.
Sorry, I'm using my person voice.
Yeah.
Some of it is fresh, but the rest of it is just looks to be painted in. In fact, the entire circle itself is drawn in blood.
I think we need to keep moving.
Agreed.
I suggest y'all keep
Speaking
okay.
Speaking of which, the other four of you happen to notice that the way up looks to be rather normal. It just looks like it leads to up into the castle again. And possibly a little ways further, you see a bit of a wine cellar.
Ooh. Carlos goes over to the nearest crate.
Although you also see stairs going down.
Well, first things first, what Barbarian does, raid the booze.
Indeed.
Okay.
I just
fascinated with the ritual and the blood. He's just.
I'll just Newbie will just go near where the stairs are, but not go. Just try to peek to see if they can see what's beyond the stairways.
Agata's got newbies back.
Prolos shouts back towards the others that's still in the ritual. Alright, guys, I found booze!
Olin's just too focused on the ritual, trying to figure out the puzzle.
Not sure now's the time, big guy.
Rourke's up there with him, and looking at the vintages of the wine.
Okay.
How much wine bottles do you
Honestly,
find?
hearing booze is probably the best thing I've heard today.
Olin's eyes and eyebrows are just twitching a little bit.
Thankfully, these have not been touched.
Oh.
I joined Protos in the wine cellar.
In fact, these have hardly been touched.
I need a drink.
If at all. They've been... In fact... Agata.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take like a little sample?
Hmm.
I think. Wait, Agata is too busy with the ritual room, right?
Agata's just kind of watching newbies back. Keep an eye on the stairs.
So he's probably asking.
Wait, never mind. So, So, Protos, do you? Yes. So, never mind. Protos, roll investigation for me.
All right, investigation.
Roll for wine tasting.
All of them heard of this one open without even
luckily,
looking.
the check here is about you actually met the check.
Woohoo!
Oh. So
as soon as you just you just pull the wine bottle open, and you take a gulp. Hey!
Okay.
This is
What?
pretty good!
This is pretty good.
Hey, that's
Oh,
pretty
Paul is
good.
definitely grabbing a bottle.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, add
Rorik is putting a bottle in his backpack.
Are there like
Okay.
DM? Are there like
Yes.
anything else in the ritual, or is that just what we find so far?
You happen to find some like statues of 4 very, very weird looking creatures. And hold on, I have my list here.
Because Roland's just investigating the entire place, just fascinating with it.
Now, Olin,
Robin's not
what
leaving
you
yet,
see,
so.
what you
Robin's got your
see
back,
are
Olin.
Sweet.
so Olin and Ruffin, excuse me. You see 4 creatures. Something that looks like a dragon, something that looks like a mole, something that looks like a very weird looking blobfish mixed with a jellyfish, and something that looks like a very big bird.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. But DM, how many wine bottles are we taking? Like
Take 10.
All right, 10 each.
Wait, what?
Actually, no. Take 16. 2 for each of you.
All right.
I've already cracked one open.
Robin,
Wait.
take a look at this.
What? What is it?
Look at these creatures and these statues.
Is there anything labeled on these wine bottles?
It's
They
just
are
like
very
it's just like your standard like mulled
creative
wine,
design.
but some of it is your standard mulled wine, but also some of it is particularly the stuff you'd only find reserved for royalty.
Oh.
Do these
So,
statues...
I
how
remember
much do
having a
these
similar
sell?
kind of wine back at home.
Okay, one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. Who first? Who wanted to ask? Who asked something?
I did. How much would these wine bottles go for?
You reckon they go for pretty much 200 gold each.
Dang.
We
What
only
kind of
found 16.
economy is this?
Yeah.
A fucked
Well,
up one.
royalties are a bunch of snobs. What do you expect? They'll want the most expensive shit.
Excuse me?
I'm saying that in L character.
Okay.
Okay, then with that done, all of a sudden, Agata and Newbie, you guys see something glowing
Uh-oh.
at going down. And
Hey, there might be more shiny stuff down here.
How much are shiny?
and it's yellow.
Yellow?
There might be more gold.
Protos picks up pollen, and you can tell that it was something she was looking for. Come on! Hurry up! Just carries her like the princess she is.
Well,
I guess Rorik is following.
So I guess Olin and Ruffin are done with the investigation.
Yup.
It seems our party is taking. It seemeth our party is leaving without us, Olin. We'd best not be left behind.
Before we quickly leave,
yes.
can
We
Skaro
better go.
make a quick religion or investigation check to recognize what these statues mean?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All of us?
What's the
All
most
of us?
what's the most appropriate roll for it?
That would probably be religion.
Yeah, religion.
Okay, so anyone who is bothering basically with the statues, we can roll religion.
Yeah. Got it.
I'm too excited with the shiny stuff.
Quick question: you said there was a staircase going down in this room.
Yep.
Cell?
Yeah.
That's where the shiny is?
Yep,
Downstairs?
that's where the shiny is.
Oh, okay. I thought it would be a disaster, but yeah, Protos starts to help Mr. Paula towards the shiny. Like it's like a trap door, right?
No, actually, it's just a very wide stairway going down.
Like a spiral
You'd
staircase
presume. No, just a straight staircase.
Alright.
Okay, and we can see it.
Yeah.
Alright,
And
Protos just rubbed his chin.
And for Olin, Scaro, and Rothan, you guys, specifically Scaro, you take note that these look like the Sunken Ones themselves. You've only heard whispers of them, but you've never actually seen them.
Well, if my...
Whoever was in charge of this place was really into the Sunken Ones.
If my memory
my!
If my memories do not dissuade me, I believe those four statues are basically representations of the four Sunken Ones.
When you take a look at them, you're right. It actually does look like the four Sunken Ones.
I have a feeling that certain cult
Those
is around here.
Those things are real?
Well,
yes.
That's the theory.
That is the theory, though.
We'll talk about it more later, but for now, let's catch up with the rest of the group.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, wait,
Oh, yes. Yep. Yeah, who you?
Yes, since me and Paula took a swig of those wine bottles, do we need to roll
I'm pretty sure a swig doesn't take too much.
No, it doesn't.
I know, but these wine bottles were down here for 15 years, so their potency's probably gone up.
I'm gonna say no, because...
Alright.
Yeah.
Let's worry about the alcoholism later.
Alright.
Okay.
The next thing I'm going to
I think
ask,
Paul's not wrong.
me and Paul are at the lips of a staircase towards where the yellow shiny is, right?
Yeah.
And we both can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, Protos just doesn't like this, so he's going to reach into his backpack to reach out his normal torch and light it with his other magical torch, and just throws the normal torch down the staircase.
Nothing happens.
Do we see the yellow shiny thing better?
It doesn't really... It's not really affected by the firelight.
Whoa.
It's more glowing than shiny.
Yeah, it's more glowing than shiny.
Okay, well, Prola's going to take the lead as like, stay behind me, Miss Paula. And they're going
She does just that.
Oh, and Newbie walks alongside Protos too, with their chest puffed out, trying to act all tough.
Okay. Okay.
I just say to Protos, like, we got this.
I hope so.
This is my chaotic nature, but Protos is going to spook a little newbie. Like, does his surprise.
Trying to keep spirits up. That's good.
Yeah. Do I need to roll intimidation?
Okay. No, you don't need to. You're just messing with him.
All right. Where it is. But
roll for just a prank, bro.
But Miss Paula, what is this thing? If this yellow thing is what you've been looking for, what is it?
It's just something that I was sent here to look for. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since we're so close to finding it, I think we should know what it is.
If Miss Paula doesn't want us, doesn't need to share if he doesn't want to.
Thank you, Protos.
I'm back.
At least
okay.
Well, we're
there you go.
gonna see it eventually.
At least give us the courtesy to know if it's dangerous or not.
It's not dangerous. Don't need to worry about that.
Alright, that is good.
Alright, good to know.
Is there
Okay.
anyone who wants it who's dangerous?
I don't think so.
Alright,
Mm.
good to know, my lady.
Alright.
Does
Okay.
thou count?
Eep.
Oh,
Oh, music
music
box
box.
dead.
Oh,
Yeah. As
Oh.
you're going through this very long corridor, you happen to come across a particular corridor that just looks like, well, there's a pillar that's up and there's a torch on it, but there's another torch that's kind of out. Namely because something fell on it. That something being a giant pillar that's leaking in a little bit of moonlight.
Hmm.
If not
Oh.
a little bit of firelight, too.
Nice.
well, Protoss is going to reach for his spare torch he just threw out and put it out and put it back in his backpack. Okay. Where's the glowy thing?
You just keep going down.
Going down, down, down. Going
are we on the stairway to hell?
No.
Going deeper
No, you
down
keep
the
going.
cellar.
No, you keep going through the corridor.
Ah,
So down in a more figurative sense.
Yeah. And it's here where I'm going to ask y'all to pop on to Owlbear Rodeo.
Oh, Bear Road.
So that's the code?
Okay.
Can you post
I can
it?
finally I can finally see a map instead of staring into my own inner thoughts.
It's called a mirror.
Do what?
Alright, so do we just need to join a game password?
You shouldn't.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me get the link.
Alright, just give me a second. We just use the bathroom since we're going into combat. Be right back.
alright.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a little bit of a break.
Alright, I'll stop recording right now.
Not a bad idea.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
There's interlogception or something. Oh, duct tape, do the thing.